Black and blue, I crawl along the wreckage of what now is gone. Back to you to fight another day. I'll go on and on and on and on. I'll face it, the demons I created with every last part of me. The pain will fade and I'll go on and on and on and on. Black and blue, I crawl to you. Black and blue, I crawl to you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fuck Me Stupid.
Oh yeah, hello.
Ugh.
Decim and Tonio really didn't want to do anything for this episode besides be there in spirit. So what had to happen was that
and the guest that I originally planned to help me with this episode couldn't make it, so that's a cherry on top of the diarrhea sundae, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a disappointment, but let's try our best for MPage to know all the MOP stuff and the fandom and the other stuff. And let's go ahead.
similarities.
This is the real challenge. Trying to get through this show without exploding in anger or throwing up.
I can see that.
Or looking at the worst moments of the show.
Let's establish a topic before we get that far. Today is the My Little Pony episode, and that's not the reason why I'm pissed off right now, despite what other people are going to twist it around as inevitably.
Don't worry.
Because what can I be mad at? It's at its root, it's a show for girls. What's there to be mad at?
There really isn't much
Yeah.
to be mad at with ponies. The thing about ponies is that what an influence it had on the 2010s.
Well, like
But
when you say about girl
where-
shows,
We're going to talk about that later.
yeah, when you say about girl shows, like I know
Sorry.
they're like that thing's just I don't know invalid because when there's shows about girls, like for example, Powerful Girls, it doesn't mean it's just a girl show. It's a show for
I
everyone.
know, yeah, like Totally Spies wasn't just for girls either.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like right now, it ain't a show for just for girls. It's a show for everyone. But we'll get to that soon. For now, let's start from the beginning. My Little Pony is a property owned by Hasbro. And based on their popular toy line, they started out as a TV show in 1986 and 87, produced by
Yes.
Sunbow and Marvel.
Yeah, like the first incarnation of the show, which had the same theme song but different words, I believe.
And also, I do remember that I think the original show was a lot more, I don't know, one-dimensional.
It was more traditionally animated.
It was a kid's property, so like back then there wasn't really much to go off of except the toys and the demographic, which was young girls. There were
the early
believe it or not, there were bronies back then, but being a brony in the 80s was like being gay in the 70s. People laugh at you.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's it.
because the 80s most conservative era ever, I believe so.
Probably.
Yeah. So anyway, the 80s. Go ahead.
Anyway, the thing that makes Generation 1 stand out is that there are characters, creatures of all types, and I can't remember if it was the movie or if it was some. Oh yeah, the TV show had this too. There were humans in the show. They are kids.
Yeah.
They fly across a magical rainbow and join ponies on adventures and stuff.
And there's Spike as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Spike, who is a dragon, I think. Is he a dragon
Still a
in
dragon.
Gen 1?
Yeah, he's still a dragon. He's been a dragon since the first generation. But yeah, instead of being voiced by a woman actor, it was voiced by an actual boy actor.
Hmm. Yeah. The
Yeah.
old.
G1 had pretty much a lot of the creatures you expect in G4. The Earth ponies, the Pegasus ponies, the Unicorn ponies, the Sea ponies, and so forth.
Oh yeah, like I remember speaking of speaking of that, like comparisons between Gen 1 and Gen 4, like the ponies, the evolution of the ponies' names, like I don't know
I do.
what they were in the Gen 1. I don't know.
What I do know about the early.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to picture.
What I was gonna say is what I do know about the first brand of the ponies is they all sort of look the same in terms of body type and within each species.
Well, that's because production was cheap back then. According to this, according to this Wikipedia article I found, this first generation of MLP was animated by Toei, a Japanese animation studio, the same people that did One Piece, Digimon, the Transformers
Dragon Ball
cartoon,
Z.
Sailor Moon, and the very first Dragon Ball. No, not Z, just the very first Dragon Ball.
Yeah, many people forget that there was a first Dragon Ball. If we ever talk about that, then we're gonna have to mention that. But honestly,
Let's save. I think we can save Dragon Ball for an anime episode if we ever make an anime episode.
yeah,
Oh, of course, we're definitely gonna put that. Thanks for the idea anyway, because these some things that this show will be limited. But yeah,
it's gonna take a year or two before
Anyway,
that happens.
yeah. Anyway, apparently, apparently this first generation cartoon, what didn't really have its own thing back then. It would sometimes Hasbro would lump it together with other cartoons based on Hasbro properties like Glow Friends, Moon Dreamers, or Potato Head Kids. Never heard of them? Good.
Potato Heads had a cartoon.
corn.
Let's not, please.
Okay,
Ford.
Okay. There's also Gen 2, and unfortunately, I do not know much about Gen 2 because Gen 2 primarily existed in the land of the London, and we are American people doing an American internet show. So what we know kind of limits us.
wasn't Gen 2 in the 90s or something?
Late 80s, early 90s. Around this time, there's a show called My Little Pony Tales. I don't know if this is Gen 2 or Gen 3. I need to look this up.
I believe
Mm.
that was Gen. I don't know. That was Gen 2-ish or Gen 3-ish. I don't know, but let's look it up.
Like I'm looking at My Little Pony Tales right now. It's not saying anything about what gen this is. Oh goodness, this article has a lot of information. I'm getting information overload. It was on the Disney Channel. Because
Disney
Disney
Channel.
Channel.
Oh yeah, Disney.
Yeah.
Disney.
This was back when this was in the early 90s actually, when Disney Channel was not a cable TV channel per se, but rather a premium channel. You know premium channels, right? Like HBO and Cinemax and that crap.
Yes.
Yeah, like this was one of the TV shows that was pretty much exclusive to the Disney Channel before it became Disney Channel.
Huh.
Yeah. So this was back in there. You had to pay money. You had to pay more money to see this era of shows. So this was not G3. G3 was when they started using Adobe Flash, and the less I say about that, the better, because the designs are ugly as sin and everything is cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, those were direct to DVD, and for good reason.
Oh yeah. The
about-
MOP. Oh
we're
yeah,
talking
the mid 2000s MOP.
Are we talking about Gen 3?
Yes.
Okay, I just remember something. We can't talk about Gen 3 without talking about Gen 3.5.
Yeah, that was when they tried to make it better, but it's kind of like covering a dog turd in ice cream sprinkles.
I just remember Newborn Cuties because of Mr. Enter. That's the only. I just remember how badly it was animated to that. And
Well, yeah, the mid 2000s wasn't really that popular. It wasn't. It was just weird for
yeah, and
MOP.
here's the thing: the
Right.
mid 2000s had plenty of other girl shows, or quote unquote could be girl shows to watch. You could watch the Powerpuff Girls. You could watch Totally Spies. You could watch Kim Possible. There were
You can
many.
watch My Life as a Teenage Robot as well.
You watch my you there were many shows you could have watched if
Annoying.
you were a girl or if you were a stereotypical. You could watch any one of those shows and it would be better than 3.5. Now
Yes.
we need to
Let's
anyway.
fast forward 2010, and what made 2010's generation of Mile Point possible is one lady by the name of Lauren Faust. She was and still is a very talented artist and animator who set out with one mission for this show: make something that appeals to the core demographic of My Little Pony while being not so boring that adults and guys are just going to immediately leave the room or turn the channel away.
Yeah, Lauren Faust,
And her
the one that. Go ahead.
mission was a success, and some would say too much of a success, because on October 10th, 2010, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic was born.
Yeah, because like Lauren Faust knew everything because of her times with the Powerpuff Girls and Foster from
Foster.
Imaginary Friends. So she had all the ideas already to make her
Yeah.
own to make herself her own show.
Yeah.
That's already with the company
Yeah, and at least her project of My Little Pony was still a success and actually consisted. While Craig McCracken, I think are they
husband.
married?
They're
Yeah,
still married.
Yeah, her husband's project was abused during the late 2010s. I'm not gonna say it again because I blabbed about it enough last episode.
Oh yeah, but like yeah, but
Okay.
because you already know because you want to create that show because you already know much how to create a show, so you decided to make that show MOP Franchise is Magic. So yeah.
I know it's
Yeah. Like much like G3, it was also animated in Adobe Flash, but the difference is it was given more time and effort to be built from the ground up in something that does not seem construed as a lazy retooling like Arthur.
yeah, like I have to admit the animation does look good. It makes you think like it doesn't even look like it was animated in Flash at all. Looks like it was more hand drawn.
Yeah. Because when you use it the way the masters do, you animate every frame and you have a puppet to work with, but you don't just rely on the puppet itself. You adapt it, you make it your own. You apply out a little twerks yourself. You don't just set it and forget it like most other Flash projects seem to do nowadays.
Yeah. I know.
Let's see. Okay. In regards to casting, like they have some stuff you'd expect if they have the usual Canadian fare of the stuff that appears in cheap Canadian productions like Kathy Westluck and Kathleen Barr, but then you also got some big name actors joining the fray every now and then. Like Tara Strong's the main character, and a character that appeared in season 2 is voiced by Q from Star Trek. And in season 4, Pinkie Pie's love interest is played by Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, Tara Strong. I always. Yeah, and we have to talk about the gigantic influence that Gen 4 has and still has to this day. It's
Yes, the brownies.
yeah, and not just the bronies. Everyone was parodying them. Everyone.
Yeah, it's like everyone and their grandmother was alleged of being a brony because of some connection either to a meme or a thing that was said or shown.
Or a
Like
white or a
they
white
said John Cena was a brony because like Rarity, he's known for saying that's not whining, this is whining.
yeah, and also or connections to YTP or even connections to reactors. BSL. Why is my little
Like
poke everything?
Your Abraham folks.
Yeah, like
yeah.
serious.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
And,
bronies. What are bronies? Bronies are dudes that like My Little Pony.
oh god. Yeah, I think
Uh,
I
so
remember there was a time in 2013 I could not watch a video without it referencing MLP.
yeah, because that's how popular the show was. It was like the Steven Universe of the day.
The thing is, Steven Universe happened in 2013, and no one really talked about it as much as My Little Pony. Like, they talked about it a whole bunch, but even still, My Little Pony we still talk about more.
Hey,
Like Gen
hey,
4 was like it had a slow but sure rise in popularity, peaking around season 4, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
like
I remember.
wasn't it every year that they did a convention?
Yeah, and I need to.
Yes,
I need.
much like any fandom in the universe, they have conventions.
Yeah, and also wasn't Banish Absol, aka Voltwin, one of them?
He went to a couple of those. Yeah. Banished Absolute Wing is one of the improbables. For those that aren't familiar with the broad spectrum of reaction YouTubing, the improbables are like pretty much one of the groups of people that pretty much inspired what made the reacting scene what it is today.
And another thing I know about is a little side quest that happened during Gen 4 is that I remember I was in the theaters when to go see a movie once, and then I saw this commercial for something that would change my life forever. It was Twilight screaming on the ground as a human.
Oh yes,
Equestria
the
Girl.
Equestria Girls side series. Pretty much, this was not part of the original vision. Hasbro made it because they wanted to have a line of dolls to compete with Monster High. But
Of
that does not mean that the movie is a soulless cash cow. There's many other reasons it is, but I digress.
Yeah, I never was more scared at a commercial, at a preview in a movie theater. And after all, I
Eh,
did make a YTP of that at one point. But that's
like
lost in
it
the
had
sand.
a few movies and a brief TV spot. That was about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't it have like so many sequels from like the first Equestria Girls film, and maybe they had shorts eventually, right?
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
and but
Yeah,
Ter-
there were like two
Ter-
sequels.
Digi,
There was a series of shorts and 4 episodes.
hey,
Hello.
did you see her, Rockba?
Digi,
Yay.
Digi, you
Hey,
need to help M Page out. Talk about the My Little Pony.
I am fumbling in the dark.
Sadly, I'm working on something.
Yeah, you know.
The episode is dragging.
Hey, didn't it like for terms of merchandise? I remember they also did a movie, an action movie, but they also had celebrities
Yes,
too, I believe.
much like Gen 1, Friendship is Magic also did in fact have a movie, a legitimate movie. It's a
And
movie.
In theater.
Yeah, like here's the thing. One thing that separates it from other movies based on Flash-based projects is that it doesn't use Flash for the movie. It used Toon Boom, and Toon Boom was really good for what it set out to do.
And
Compared to other movies that used Flash for their movies.
yeah, I like the interesting thing about the Mind of the Clone one, like it was the only besides the obvious thing that you just said, Teen Titans. The My Little Pony movie was the only 2D animated movie out. Like, to see a 2D animated movie out in the theaters is like non-existent. Like, literally.
Yeah, it's pretty much a good. It's an example of a good way to make a 2D animated movie and not have to. Let me see if I can find a clip. Let me just. There's a clip I want to show, and this is how not to do a 2D animated movie in the 2010s.
Thing about the ponies, like I don't think the ponies would look good in 3D. Aside from
Oh man, yeah. Oh, hey. So if the ponies looked in 3D, if they look in 3D, they look like the pony MOV videos. And anyone remember those ones? GH, you remember those ones? Or you, Digi?
Pony Mauve.
He's kind of.
Thing about Pony, like, yeah, and also after this, we have to talk about some of the notable parodies.
Oh yeah, also the parodies, the parodies of MOP. But yeah, so let's just see what GH's clip. Let's see GH's clip.
Anyway, pretty much, there's a good way to do a 2D animated movie back then and a bad way. The good way is My Little Pony the movie. They take time to establish new software, make sure the new designs don't look ugly, have some smooth, fluid animation, incredible action sequences. And then there's a bad way to do a 2D animated movie. DSim, share me.
Okay, I can see.
Oh
God.
Do we have to talk about this now?
Hold on.
The audio's a little quiet, but it said, "Kids, ask your parents where babies come from."
Are we really?
Oh God.
The thing.
Oh God.
That's what you don't do. That's a bad movie. Bad.
That's from. And also, that show's not even a show made by its own network. It was just a show that was made by their,
Like we said last episode, the only reason Teen Titans Go got a movie at all is not because of Cartoon Network. It was because that DC and Warner Brothers owned it before them, and they were the ones that made the big jump to position. And what they did with that movie is simple. They just put the show on a gigantic screen
and made it longer. They just made it's like long.
There's a total disconnect. Like with Teen Titans Go into movies, there's a total disconnect between all the parties involved. Because like you have Cartoon Network, you have the anime, you have the creators, and then you have DC. It's like Warner Brothers owns the TV rights, DC owns the property rights, and then you have the people that actually work on the damn thing.
Yeah. And that thing's still going. And you realize this just became Cartoon Network Part 3.
Let's just try and steer it back to where we were.
We need to talk about the parodies.
Parodies. There are parodies. Yeah. MLB got so popular. Everyone tried to parody it in one way or another. Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own quirky sense of humor. But I think my favorite would have to be the stuff that was in DuckTales.
Another thing is that there was a pony joke in some Sanjay and Craig, where Craig swallowed Sanjay and he says like, "My Coney toy, you swallowed this."
Oh yeah. What about Deadpool, where Deadpool was holding a Rainbow Dash doll?
I also remember.
Then there was that Transformers reference where they had that. I can't think it was in Transformers 4. They had that thing that could be anything, and one of the things was Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. Also, Deadpool had a Rainbow Dash plush.
And also,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
we need to
oh
also
yeah,
not.
impact on pop culture. Okay.
Yeah, we also have to talk about some other parodies. Like I remember a parody called Double Rain Boom. Remember?
Okay, that's a fan project. We'll put that in the box and we'll save it for later.
Yeah, let's talk about Pony.mov series.
Again, that's a fan project in the box. Let's talk about its impact on pop culture. Like, as much as we know already to death that the show has been parodied by other shows, we can't forget about the times that they pretty much go out of their ways to nod at other shows. Like, start from the very first Equestria Girls movie, Pinkie Pie's doing her usual shenanigans, but then when she stands back up, you hear a familiar noise.
Yeah, robot noise.
Yeah,
I think I
like not just any robot noise, not just any robot noise. Think about it. What other what robots does Hasbro own?
Transformers.
Exactly, that is Pinkie Prime.
Think about. Yeah, I do remember watching Equestria Girls for the sake of the YTP that I would make in March 2018. It would be the longest thing I ever made. And this will all come into play in the YTP episode. The point is that I do remember that Pinkie Pie, she really acted like her usual pony self from what I remember, but as a human, that some of her interactions they didn't really feel right.
Right.
like, like, and the, do you know that?
Let's- what else did MLP do? Video games. MLP has no video games.
Besides
Gen
that one
3
appearance
had
on
a DS
Monopoly.
game.
What about that Monopoly game?
Yes, they were a Monopoly DLC. I forgot to mention that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, apart from that DLC appearance, Gen 4 had no video games unless you count a mobile app as a game, which I do not.
Yeah, that's the only thing in merchandise they only lacked. But in terms of plush toys, dolls, shirts,
I owned
beanies, underwears, socks, anything, etc. Yeah, that's what they had. That's how they got popularity too in merchandise too. They had a lot of sales in that, and a lot of sales in money because of merchandise.
I will not lie.
I
will not lie. I had a Twilight plush at one point and a Rainbow Dash plush at one point. They were to parody in my stuffed animal videos, and I used them
Right. Go ahead.
and I used them to piss off the other characters.
Well, like, hey, Jay, do you remember when I drew some characters of the show?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's artists that do fan made pictures too, and there are like a lot of fan made MLP.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll circle back to fan made stuff in a second, right after I finish this thing about video games. Despite MLP not really despite the fourth generation of MLP not really getting its own game, it is popular enough that it does reach its way to the games of its day in regards to like some cool nods, references, or maybe the same people working there. Decent, share this. Share this. This is a clip. As soon as DSim puts me on the screen, this is a clip from Injustice 2, which is a popular DC fighting game.
Oh yeah.
As you
I know that
Tara
game.
Strong, who voiced Twilight Sparkle in the show. Tara Strong, who voiced Twilight Sparkle in the show, voices Harley Quinn in this game. And here's what they did to Harley Quinn here.
Can you make me a pony?
It will make the twilight sparkle.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Begin.
Oh my god. Tara, you mad?
Yep. All right. And as kind of a transition between video games and fan content, I'm gonna talk about something that's a bit of both. There is a game on Steam. Keep the share on me. There is a game on Steam. It is called Them's Fighting Herds. The reason that I consider this fan content, and there's a reason why I consider this fan content, even though it shows original characters. The developer is known as Main 6, and here's the story behind the game's development. Basically, these people made a fighting game called Fighting is Magic, which is a fighting game that used the Main 6 characters. Hasbro ultimately put a cease and desist on the project, but these guys decided to not let it get the better of them. They reworked their engine, they took out the pony characters, they fine-tuned the quadrupedal fighting mechanics, and they even commissioned the Lauren Faust herself to come up with original character designs. And as you can see in this preview clip, it's got the same kind of animation and art style that you would expect from the show, and combat is top notch for the type of characters you're dealing with here.
You should do that for Raw.
I'll put it in the requester. And it's actually one of the first games actually published by Humble Games. Humble Games is the Humble Bundle publisher, and I have to disclose that I'm a Humble partner, but I'm not going to bug you guys with Humble links because this isn't my channel.
God, that looks awesome.
Anyway, yes, this is a fantastic.
I don't know why, but that looks like awesome.
Yeah, this is why it's good to make your own thing. Like before Fighting is Magic became this, there was talk about the idea of using Mugen as a base, but Mugen just does not handle the Fighting Herd style.
Thing about Mugen is that Mugen has everything, and honestly, Mugen doesn't function well. The only time Mugen functioned well.
Yeah, Mugen was meant to be an open source Street Fighter style engine, but Street Fighter doesn't really prepare itself well for quadrupedal characters such as this.
Yeah, God. God.
Anyway, so now we're on fan content. MLP is a great show. It inspired so many types of fan content. You look all over DeviantArt, you'll find some pony characters, original characters, some cute pony arts, some
Fetish art,
some fan fiction. There's just all kinds of art.
Anime James.
If you're under 18, ask your parents for help.
Yeah.
Anyway, apart from that, there are really well-made fan projects as well, and one of them, as Tix likes to mention, is Pony.mob. I would like to call this a parody series.
The thing about Pony.mob is it's the only good thing Hot Diggity Demon ever made. The thing, everything else he made following Pony.mob, it wasn't really that good. It's because that he became a internet critic after that, and honestly, I hate that about. I don't want to why you were so good at making parody animations, and yet you go straight to internet critic with Brain Dump. Are you serious?
I like to think that as a critic, I haven't seen much of him as a critic, but I think it's kind of good to go in that direction, because being a guy that created something that had this big of an impact, you know what it's like behind the camera, behind the editing desk, behind the animator pen. You have a sense of perspective, and that helps you give more nuanced critique on other projects.
I know. I do know one other thing that was made by an infamous person called Sonic versus Rainbow Dash.
Oh yeah, Animated James. That was pretty. He was a pretty cool channel before he retired.
Yeah, for reasons that, let's just say that his work was a gas. Oh God.
I mean, it was okay.
Thing about, no, you don't get it. Think real hard why he was doxxed and stuff.
He doesn't suck. Don't go. Don't even bring that up.
Okay, let's now. What other parody of ponies are there? I'm trying to think. Like there were
We
so
could talk
many.
about some bad ones. Who want? Like, do we
Oh
wanna
yeah,
get
what about
shit up?
Mad?
Who
I remember
wants?
the
You
show
want
Mad. I remember the show Mad. They parodied MOP with
Oh,
Crash
yeah,
and
Mad.
Bernstein. Instead of Crash and Bernstein, it's Rainbow Dash and
Yeah, that was
Bernstein.
Rainbow Dash and Bernstein.
Oh
I remember
no.
Crash and Bernstein.
Like,
That
I
was a
don't think we're
terrible
allowed to.
Disney XD
I don't think
show.
we're allowed to show it because of copyright, and I don't even think we'll find. Yeah,
Let-
I'm not allowed to show it because it's copyright, but it's basically the same concept, except the guy really doesn't think he's a brony. Like, really doesn't think that.
So he doesn't want to
It's
be
really
grateful
only
that he has a
for
pony.
I also remember something from, I think it was like, it was either Dorkly or I think it was from Dorkly or Lowbrow, something called My Little Brony. Like it was.
I
about-
think that was College Humor that did that.
Yeah, College Humor. I remember that
Uh.
parody. Think it's okay to show that one?
I'm. Okay, I'll show it, but I'm gonna deafen for the whole thing because I don't want to
Actually,
fucking
no.
hear it.
Never mind. I said never mind. I just wanted to see if it was there. So basically, what you're saying is
It's there, and
What?
that thumbnail alone pretty much sums up why I don't want to see it again.
Put it in the requester.
And
No. Chicks.
I'm
Oh.
not doing that.
It was a joke. It was a fucking joke.
Okay.
Okay, what other
Yeah.
horrible ones do
Anyway,
you
they've all. As you can kind of see down here, they are also Bronies, the fandom themselves, are subject to documentaries and cringe compilations
Oh
and
yeah.
this.
I remember the documentary. Wasn't that one of the
hate-
people from Brony's React there? Like the mustache dude. I forgot what was his name. That mustache dude.
I hate everything. No.
No. I mean the mustache dude. From Brony's React.
Oh, Pymations. I remember Pymations did Brony stuff too.
Yeah. Like, I'll say this, like, even what I like the most about the fandom is its sense of community. Like, Animated James, we talked about him earlier. He did the Sonic versus Rainbow Dash series, but one of the things he's really known for is working on other people's projects. Like, they pretty much get him to animate the things. This here is a PMV that he animated for the song Beat It, which was originally done by Michael Jackson, but was covered by both Apple Bloom's voice actor Michelle Kreber and popular Brony musician at the time, Black Griffin.
Yeah, so honestly,
I am. The audio is muted for copyright reasons, but you kind of get the idea. The vibe is really top notch.
yeah, I'm trying not to think of other things by him. Things that shouldn't be mentioned.
Right?
Things that should go along with the world.
AGH poop.
Okay, now okay, there's one other parody person that did My Little Pony to my knowledge. That was Pymations. You go to Pymations.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Anyone that's even remotely considered popular at the time did a Brony thing at one point.
I did a Brony thing at one point too. I remember I made a couple of My Little Pony YTPs in my time, but two of them were movie maker quality, and the third one was at the heel end of my depression. back in March 2018.
Like,
I
this
haven't-
right here is considered one of the biggest Brony collabs of all time. You got so many OCs involved. You got the music. You got the animation. So much shit going down.
God, yeah. So we need to think of. I forgot about Vanna Melon.
Oh
But-
yeah, the impressionist.
Oh yes, Vanna Melon. She's a gamer. Vanna
She's
Melon
the-
is a person that exists, and
She-
one of her most popular series of videos was Fluttershy Plays, now under the title of either Fluttershy or Flutterchan, depending on what form you look at.
Yeah, she determined the role of Fluttershy in gaming.
Fluttershy Plays is her most popular series, and
That's 'cause
there's
That's because she does the
but she
voice.
does other things too.
Yeah, I know she does, but she does the voice perfectly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
In order
see,
to-
let me see if I can find a good sample here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pick my clips
Also-
carefully.
also-
Vanna
yeah,
Melon, let's try FNAF, I guess.
Yeah, let's try yeah, let's try the one with
I'm
No,
only
it's
gonna
not-
play
the good one. I know one, the one where
like I'm
she
gonna
was- the Foxy one. I know what one I'm talking about when I talk about her doing. Yeah, there's the Joy of Creation #2 with the Foxy challenge, but it's a
yeah. And we're gonna go for where it all started here. This Fluttershy Plays FNAF, but I'm only gonna play I'm gonna skip around a lot, and I'm only gonna play like a few seconds at a time because I want to respect her wishes of copyright for now.
Okay, roll your
I
friends
always
over here.
remember.
My power is in
I
the
remember
computer.
seeing that.
Okay, there's the
And the
ducky.
thing
Mr.
about
Ducky, where is
Vanna
it?
Melon that
Okay, I'm hearing something.
she's talented. It's just that everyone
Okay,
wanted her to
I
do
saw
one
it.
voice.
I saw
And
Bunny.
one voice
There you are, Mr. Bunny. Oh, you're so cute. Okay. Okay,
No,
Mr.
Art.
there, Freddy. Mr. Freddy,
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
there.
talent. You should
Okay.
do that.
Oh, looks good. Oh, looks
But
what is it?
like that.
Okay. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh,
I will admit, she does sound kind of cute. It reminds me of Kitsuna Ai, one of those Japanese VTubers. She was a popular VTuber before VTubing was a thing. And now Vanna's doing it with the Flutterchan.
Yeah, and also let's talk about
Yeah, when
Pyramation.
we'll get to
Pyramation-
Pymations in a second, but another thing I want to mention about Vanna Melon. When the Brony fandom was dying down, she decided to make more videos where she was like Bowsette or Isabelle from Animal Crossing or whatever, and she's a VTuber. But she realized that she could not leave behind this legacy she created as Fluttershy. So she created Flutterchan, and that's still one of her most popular VTuber avatars. And I'm just gonna pick a video here. One.
Yeah, I have to say it. She has a rack.
Yeah. If you're not 13, what the fuck are you doing here?
I can't lie. You have to.
Okay, this is her animation. Let's see. I'm gonna skip past the animated intro. We're here for I'm gonna show the VTuber stuff.
But
Let me
this
just
is
skip past the tutorial here.
Yeah, this is Friday Night Talk, and it has music and teach.
Yeah, it has music. I don't care. It's not copyrighted. I'm just skipping past the intro so we can see more of the VTuber-y bits.
get this started. Get this started. We gotta be cool enough. Oh, it's Poppy. Papa. Oh, what happened? What?
Oh, fuck is this?
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of hard to see because I'm screen sharing in DVD quality, but take my word for it. There is cleavage, yes, but there's no jiggle physics because YouTube.
Yeah, because only the VTubers of Twitch get jiggle physics. Ugh.
Yeah,
Imagine if you
like I could spend some time talking about the. I could spend some time talking about the original VTuber Kitsuna Ai, but like this is the pony episode, so Pymation, right?
Yeah, Fimation's the final one I'll mention. Like, he's the final Brony animator I could think of on the top of my head. The thing about Pie Nations is that he never finished his Brony thing. Like, he never finished his animations. Like, he
Yeah, and there's Sheriff Hayseed up there.
Yeah, literally, he was supposed to do. He never finished his damn it. Yeah, and there's the best Powerpuff Girl parody. Still back to haunt me.
Yeah, you can kind of see the style. You can kind of get a sense of his style just through the thumbnails alone.
Yeah, the thing is, he had a pony idea for a pony series. Friendship is Cringe, but he didn't really finish it because he was following his own ambitions. Like, he was following, Sheriff Hayseed. So you have to think.
All right. This one I can show a bit of Sheriff Hayseed because he's a pony character, sort of.
I don't want to do this.
See if I can find a good spot here.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable.
Sheriff Hayseed's one of my favorite fan characters because he's voiced by Shady Box. Shady Box is cool.
Who the hell is Shady Box?
Shady Vox is a voice actor. He voiced Sheriff Hayseed in this, and among other pony characters, he voiced. Wait, I don't know if he voiced Sheriff Hayseed in this. Let me see if I can find credits. Yes, Shady Vox. He voices Sheriff Hayseed, and in the Brony fandom, he also voices Button Mash and a background character named Neon Lights.
I'm guessing
he's also well known for some other abridged projects.
I'm guessing that I'm guessing he was very big.
As far as big as you can get in the indie scene, anyway.
Yeah. This is my. I'm guessing I'm.
Eating good. Again, can't see a dang thing. What are you gonna do, right?
I get my phone on so little clock.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Sure, hold this.
Of course.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you at a time you are holding dynamite.
I'd say that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm surprised he never got greenlit by anyone. Like that was pretty good. Seriously.
Yeah. Shady Vox is well known for music and voice acting.
Yeah, so
one of Shady Vox's long running projects is when he uses the Sheriff Hayseed character to do covers.
Yeah, I never knew that. All I know is from this show alone, I can think that Tara Strong raked in a ton of money. Because Tara Strong voices everything. Because a lot of people know her for Raven, a lot of people know her for Twilight, a lot of people know her for Timmy Turner. You can't ignore Tara. Ever. A lot of people know her for Bubble.
Tara Strong is everywhere. The problem is with Tara being so well known as Twilight and all these things is that it makes it hard to imagine anyone else doing these roles. Therefore, unless you can get the spot on voice for the character that Tara voices, you're gonna get booed. Apparently.
And also, take for instance, I'm gonna have to mention it again. Tara voiced Bubbles in the original Girls, and everyone hated the new Bubbles because it didn't sound like Bubbles at all.
Yeah, which is why people are calling into question certain fan projects that don't have the right voice. It's like, to me, it don't matter if you get the right voice, because like it's just the heart. It's just what you do with the project that matters. And I'm gonna show I'm gonna show some bits from Digi's video. He has a different voice actor for Twilight that doesn't really sound like show Twilight, but it doesn't. But in my opinion, it doesn't freaking matter. But I'm gonna let you guys be the judge. Like Twilight is voiced by a VA known as Deshawn. It doesn't sound like show Twilight. I'm gonna play a clip of this, and we're just going to. Here's the challenge. We're going to review this without bias. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Let's see how Twilight sounds here.
Thank you for bringing us up to this tower, Twilight.
No problem, Digi. But what do you mean we?
Oh, my assistant Zarvox is supposed to show up soon. He said something about grabbing a few things.
Alright.
Well, he better show up. The media shower's about to show up soon.
So, any updates on you-know-who?
Well, other than a few of his lackeys showing up in the cyber room, including the very one who turned me into this bear form, not much has happened.
Just a minor form, not there.
Right. Anyway, I'm still thinking at this point that Grogar has them stop trying to attack me, for the time being, and just trying to think of something else of whatever he's planning. Luckily, so far, I have some others that are going to help us out against him.
I'm glad you're making good progress.
Also...
Okay, I'm just going to stop it right there. You heard what Twilight sounds like here. It doesn't sound like she does in the show. Do you think it sounds good?
I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, here's my opinion on people voicing other characters. My opinion is this. If you do... Fan projects are all right in my book. Like, for instance, like the Powerpuff Girls reboot Spectacular by Pie. I don't expect them to sound exactly like Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. I mean, hell, Pie-Mation's voiced Buttercup himself because he couldn't find anyone that sounded like her. But the thing is, with an official show, like I'm gonna mention the reboot again. You expect there to sound like them in the original show. Like if you changing a voice actor in a show, like let's say mid-season, is gonna raise flags. Like it happened in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 when in season 3 they changed Leonardo's voice actor to Seth Green.
Oh yeah, it's because it wasn't because the voice actor quit. It's because he got fired because some racist comments, whatever, on Twitter. Jason Biggs.
Yeah, the point is that people notice, and people still notice. I give fan projects a pass because people try their best. The issue I have is like if it's an official thing, like let's say this short wasn't made by Digi, it was an official short by Hasbro themselves, and they didn't have Tara Strong in it. Then I judge. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like what sucks? What sucks is like any fandom, these people can be the Brony fandom can be relentless. Like there are instances where if you go to a fan project and a certain character just doesn't sound quite like the official show, the whole project gets booed because they let that happen.
Oh yeah, it's kind of cool that all the main main 6 or main 6, right?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all the main 6, like all of them besides like probably the 4. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Double Rainbow.
Like Rainbow Dash and Applejack have the same voice actor. And let's see, and Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy have the same voice actor. So basically, combine those voice actors and the other characters being voiced by different. They're just only they only use 4 voice actors instead of having specific ones. But yeah, it's kind of cool how they use the same voice actors for those characters.
And of course, YouTube Kids got Double Rainbow. I do remember Devil.
Yeah, the problem with YouTube Kids is they'll grab anything that's remotely kid friendly. But let's not focus on that right now. The thing with Double Rainbow is it's a project that people don't really like. Generally, as I see the top ratings, it's like it had everything there to be good, but it's not that great because like the things they do well, they do really, really well. But the things they do bad, they kind of totally destroy. Like one thing they got right is the animation quality. It's so good, I'm afraid to play any of it because I feel like it might get flat as an actual MLP episode.
I kind of want to watch it. Is that weird?
Like,
I,
yeah, like I'll link it later. I can't show the whole thing in this episode.
I do remember
Anyway,
the part
so
where
the animation quality.
yeah, I do.
I'll mute it for a few seconds. The show quality, the animation quality looks about as good as the original show, as you can see.
Yeah. Thing about I've noticed is that I also remember the part where Rainbow Dash goes to Townsville and the Powerpuff Girls are chasing her around. That's what I remember.
Yeah, that's another thing they did. That one thing they did right is they tried something new. They had Rainbow Dash attempt the impossible feat of a double rainbow that ripped a hole in the fabric of space-time, and she ends up in the city of Townsville, a la Powerpuff Girls. But here's the thing. This is one thing I can appreciate as a guy that does things on YouTube. They did contact Cartoon Network and Craig McCracken and got permission to do this Powerpuff Girls bit. So, like the fact that it's all on the up and up, it's kind of like extra points right there.
God.
And they do kind of, while they don't really match the Powerpuff Girls style, it does look pretty cool, I guess.
God.
The city of Townsville is under attack by a lizard.
Yeah, honestly, that monster looks a million times more better than the one we got in the reboot.
Hey, Ampage, remember how you say that the voices don't, you know how voices don't really matter in terms of doing impressions? What about this Elmo impression I'm going to do? Oh, hey, I'm Elmo!
Oh, God.
That's a good Elmo, I'll admit. Anyway, so, but where they mess up, they really mess up, is like, there's a bit about the moral at the end of the episode because they just forgive Rainbow Dash immediately and they just spend time rebuilding the place. But the thing that they mess up the most, and I'm actually turning up the sound for this, is the personalities of the Powerpuff Girls. Like, throughout this entire thing, they start chasing her around because they want her all to themselves because, ponies. Watch what happens when she disappears forever and they realize they don't get her.
Where'd she go? I don't see her anywhere. Antoinette's gone? She was right here. Rats, she must have gotten away. Don't worry, Bubbles. We'll find another pony. Not one that can fly.
Yeah, that's.
Oh wait, hang on. There's one that's missing. There's a bit that's missing somewhere. I can't find it again, but there's a bit where they get sad over it, and then there's a bit where a dog shows up and he's wagging his tail, all excited. One of the girls says, "You're not a pony." One of the girls says, "You're not a pony," and the other one is like doing this with a fist, like implying something shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, I got it. Here's the thing, M-Page. I remember that, and I remember how mean-spirited, but here's the thing. You know what happens in the reboot? They do that on an everyday basis, and they don't even fight monsters. So that's not a big concern of me. So
it's like to a fan of to a fan of nothing or a fan of MLP, it's no big deal. But to a fan of classic PPG, it puts you on the fence. Like, is this really our girl?
Yeah, that's and here's the thing with traveling through dimensions like Rainbow Dash apparently did. There are parallel universes. My opinion is this: she ended up in the reboot universe, except the narrator was stuck there
I don't
too.
know. The art style seems to match classic.
Either that, or she was in a new power. The point I'm making at is, I miss the old Powerpuff Girls. Okay, back to Pony.
I mean, yeah, everyone does, and that's why, like, there was a time when classic PPG was all that mattered in terms of trying to get people's attention. Like, to go off topic for a second, there was an episode of Teen Titans Go, TTG versus PPG. Classic Powerpuff Girls show up, and pretty much the Teen Titans pretty much make asses of themselves.
I know, and the thing is, that's not the classic Powerpuff Girls. That's the reboot Powerpuff Girls. And you want to know what's funny? The reboot Powerpuff Girls in that episode are a million times more confident than any episode of the reboot itself.
Yeah. The problem is that those aren't the reboot characters because it's the classic art style and the classic attitudes. They even got the same VAs.
Oh my God!
The Powerpuff Girls in TTG versus PPG look and behave exactly as they did in the original show, and even dummy me, who doesn't really care about either of them, could see while watching the episode that the Powerpuff Girls just wanted to save the day, and so did Teen Titans at first. But then it looks like Teen Titans randomly decided to turn it into a competition and make asses of themselves.
Yeah, and the thing about that is that they're gonna lose anyway. At least in that
because they're stupid.
Now we're turning into Cartoon Network Part 3 again. This is the problem with some of these SmackDown episodes. In Cartoon Network Part 2, it turned into Nickelodeon Part 2. In My Little Pony, it's turning into Cartoon Network Part 3. And then next episode in Adult Swim, it's going to turn into Pony Part 2. Next episode's going to be Pony.
The problem is, like, we have no. That's the problem with this show. It's like we have no idea where we're going, so we let ourselves wander off into these directions because we have all these tangents that pop in our heads. It's a disaster, and that's why I'm losing confidence a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why we look like Rainbow Dash in that one screenshot.
What's next week's episode again?
Adult Swim.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Okay, now to get back on Pony track. Isn't there another generation that comes after this gigantic girl clusterfuck?
Well, it's not done yet, but there is another generation that comes after G4. It's actually a work in progress. It's still in development, and all I have to go off of is a couple leaks, which I can't show for copyright reasons. But it does make. But the synopsis I got does make me worry. With some details redacted, best I can say, it's kind of like the way we live right now. It's all sorts of paranoia and controversy and betrayal, and no one knows what to believe. And the main character wants to unite all the races again because with nothing else to turn to and the magic of friendship gone, all the unique character races have forced themselves into segregation.
Okay, so the ponies are trying to do Martin Luther King or Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and
it's actually yeah, it's like worse. I mean, yeah, it feels worse because you have the person that dreams big of everyone coming together, and everyone thinks that she's crazy, but then she actually does something about it, and then everybody hates her.
Honestly, that's the thing. You can't make everyone have the same opinion over friendship. Like, that's not a realistic
Yeah.
goal. Otherwise,
Yeah, that's the problem with that was the problem with G4 in the later seasons, as some of my friends tell me. Like, the first time just reinforces like friendship in regards to like being a good person or doing the right thing or offering encouragement, but all the others just treat friendship as like a cult, like the Jehovah's Witnesses.
the thing about that just reminds me of another horrible MLP thing. Friendship is witchcraft.
Yeah, that's a bit on the fence in regards to fan content. Some people call it an abridged series, some call it a parody series, some call it a weird redub. I'm gonna call it what it is: garbage.
I just thought I mentioned it since you said cult.
Yeah, like honestly, I like there's footage of me like singing one of their songs in a modified Rock Band build on YouTube, but that was just because I liked playing Rock Band. I didn't really care for the series.
The thing about okay, one final thing of the pony is that like the plot hole goes deep. It really does.
Do I really want? Like, do we? What are you trying to say? Spend 20 minutes talking about porn?
I'm trying to make a pun on the rabbit hole, but then again, then we'd be
You
talking
do realize
about
what plot means, right?
yeah, that was a joke. And then, but if I said rabbit hole, we'd be talking about Angel Bunny.
Yeah, but don't say plot hole runs deep. You make me want to invite Reactor to put pony hentai on the screen.
Yeah.
My Little Pony. What about My Little Pony? You know the new the other one. Well, never the spin-off one, the MLP Friendship and Magic spin-off one. You know the one where it's where they're like
Pony Life. Pony Life.
yeah, Pony Life. What do you think about that,
Pony Life.
MPage?
It exists. It is a thing. Like I have not been able to watch it, but I did see some like trailers and screenshots. It's alright.
It looks pretty cute.
Yeah, like here's the thing about Pony Life. Pony Life is like it is a spin-off of G4 done in a more comedic style. And it can and here's the thing. Everyone's there's a lot of people that are writing it off because it uses the writing and art style that you'd find from shows like Teen Titans Go, Thundercats Roar, and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I don't think it's fair because, like, there are shows that use that style and are really good with what they do. Like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Teen Titans Go, doesn't really play to its source material, but rather plays to being a silly show for children. And as a silly show for children, it works. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles works, and Pony Life works.
It ruined it. It ruined Turtles for me.
I will mute you if you don't stop.
I'm just saying that, like, that's not a good comparison.
All right, that's
here's
it.
the thing, though.
Just kidding.
Like, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doesn't play. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doesn't play to the source material strictly. It plays to being a quirky comedy show. As a quirky comedy show, and not as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show, it works. Pony Life, not as an MLP show. Pony Life as not as an MLP show, but as a quirky comedy show for children, works. What doesn't work is Thundercats Roar and Teen Titans Go themselves, because while they do play themselves as quirky comedy shows for children from the beginning, they eventually fall to the rabbit hole that most would avoid. That being taking the criticism and shoving it up their ass and shitting on the screen. Because Teen Titans Go went the direction of clapping back at the critics and making fun of them, and Thundercats Roar did the same thing in a TTG crossover. That's where they become irredeemable. But Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Pony Life are not redeemable. They are redeemable because if you ignore the source material for 5 fucking seconds and just take it as like a quirky comedy for kids, it works as a quirky comedy for kids.
Actually, not just say it. I kind of see where you're going with both the ponies and the turtles. It's just the turtles never got a chance to show that off since they got canceled like halfway through the first season. Because
It's
Nick is
because like fandoms at their core are ravenous. They'll take anything they can get with their source material and say whatever they want about it. And like with Pony Life, you have the Brony fandom. Bronies, with some notable exceptions, Bronies in general are more tolerant and loving of new things and quirky designs.
That is very fascinating.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Ninja Turtles kind of don't have that. They're pretty much ninja kick everything that moves, eat pizza all day, and fuck anything new.
It's just honestly, I don't like the show, but at least now I can see that the show could have had something that would have been better than Teen Titans Go. But the thing is, even still, it's a shame that it never got to redeem itself because Nick booted it to Nicktoons before it even got to show anything.
Yeah, like one thing all these types of shows have in common is that they could do well with paying more attention to the source material. But one thing I will give Pony Life and Rise Turtles for is they don't clap back. That's ultimately it's for some reason the rabbit hole of clapping back keeps getting dug bigger, wider, deeper. That's why more and more shows fall into it. But thankfully, like Ponies and Rise of Turtles are able to sidestep that.
Yeah, the funny thing about Nickelodeon is like every time they try to represent the Ninja Turtles, they always have to put the 2012 one instead of the new one.
That's because the 2000. I love that the 2018 one did try to do something new and try to replicate something that's already been done. It's just it didn't succeed because the Ninja Turtles, you expected a little bit more after the 2012 series. Like you didn't expect something of that style, and people didn't like that. They expected the big action and dark style, the mix of dark and the mix of nice and funny like the 2012 series had. It's just and Pony Life, I'm glad that Pony Life has a fandom that is willing to accept that change, unlike Turtles. And I'm guilty of that.
There is one person I'm not going to name in this episode. If anyone else blurts out their name, it's not my fault. Like, they represent the worst parts of the My Little Pony fandom. The parts that don't like change, don't like seeing things leave, and are just batshit insane. This particular individual, wanted to plan an assault on Hasbro headquarters because they demanded, to paraphrase from the show, they demanded 5 more seasons of FIM, and they wanted to end with all the main 6 being alicorns. Alicorns, for context, are Unicorn Pegasus Ultra Magic Hybrids.
Fascinating. Is it someone by the does their name start with an O?
No.
Okay, I'm guessing it's a Z.
No.
Okay, then. Oh no.
I'll give the only hint I'll give is that they demand that we use female pronouns, but I'm only going respectful enough to use they thems because I do not believe they have trans.
Oh, it's a D. Oh.
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna guess because I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth.
When you said Tran, I thought you were talking about someone here that used to be a member here.
No one associated with us. Okay, I'm gonna drop the letter in the group chat. Don't say the letter out loud. Just react to it. That's what I'm getting at.
Text, do not say what I'm typing in the chat. Do not say the name when I'm typing in the chat.
Okay, he's guessing. No, that's not it. Like, okay, I'm gonna draw more letters with blanks. Again, don't react. I'll drop their suffix. Again, don't say it out loud.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
That person.
God.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh.
Yeah. Like we could do like 5 episodes on this person if we wanted to, but we're not going to.
Nope.
Oh God! Now I'm seeing it now. I am seeing it. It's disgusting. I want it out of my head.
Like let's just wrap this up before we go insane. In conclusion, My Little Pony had a really rich history throughout its many incarnations. And in regards to Friendship is Magic, its current incarnation, I'd say it has really done well to impact the lives and minds of our generation. And we do believe that for the most, and it's safe to say that for the most part, the morals that they teach us as autistic persons would benefit us to help us teach morals to our kids going forward. You guys want to say anything?
Yeah, and My Little Pony has taught me one thing. Everything can change if you insert a character from this show into it. Everything changes. Like, it's one of the things that defines defined YTP. And YTP we're going to talk about a month from now, in April.
Yeah. The show does well to promote friendship, and no more do you see the friendship shine than in the communities that it creates and the communities that it touches. Like collaboration is one of the best things you can do as a community, and some of the greatest projects of the Brony fandom and even other fandoms come from collaborations, and it shows us that you can get a lot more done when you're by your friends than you can by yourself.
Okay.
In the end, it's all about having fun and respecting one another.
Okay, so I guess we shall conclude this. Yeah.
I just gotta. Yeah, we're done.